Yes, this is Talk About, and this is John Twig, enjoying the summer here in Campbell River, even though we're in a cool studio. But we've got a special summer guest, and Kealy Donaldson. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
Yeah, and you're here because you're doing the first ever Rockin' the Island concert on the 16th of August.
That's right. It's a JKL production right here in Campbell River.
JKL?
Yeah, our new production company.
Okay.
It's an acronym for my family names, my husband and my kids.
Oh, nice.
And we're very excited. We've got 10 all-Canadian bands coming to Campbell River for 12 hours of live music.
Are they all island, or there's a couple from Vancouver, maybe?
Absolutely. They're actually as far away from Winnipeg.
Oh, my. Mm-hmm. How did you pick them?
Well, what we were trying to do this year in accomplishing our first annual was handpick artists that would create a positive environment so that we could have a little crowd management. Not having any precedents here in Campbell River for quite some time with a big local event, we decided that we would choose these artists basically for how they present themselves in a public appearance.
They're kind of like a positivity thing, is that right? Or
well, just
family values, or
no, we had choices, and we could have brought in heavy metal, right? We could have brought in really heavy rock and roll.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with it. But what we decided to do this year, again, just because we're a first-time event, is bring in artists that we knew created just positive energy and had positive messaging.
Yeah. I don't know many of the bands, but it looked to me like I think around 5 o'clock you've got a bit of a shift to a folky thing, is that right?
Well, Time Well Wasted is coming up from the Comox Valley, and they're a phenomenal band. They're 12-piece with a horn section.
Oh, my.
And they play all the classic rock and roll, as well as some of their own writing.
Oh, that's good stuff. Now, there's a lot of festivals around, and you're doing this, I should say, at the Campbell River Indian Band soccer fields in Campbellton.
That's right, correct,
Okay.
right beside Home Depot.
Ah, okay. How does this compare with, I think, the Filberg's coming, and the Vancouver Island Music Festival was just on in Courtenay?
Well, we're quite small in comparison. Again, first year. The idea behind it is to gain momentum, 2,500 to 3,500 attendees this year. That particular location could easily accommodate up to 5,000 people. Because it's an old log sort, there's built-in parking per se, so we can accommodate up to 900 vehicles on site for parking. And the entire soccer field will be consumed with food vendors, with bleachers, a 19-plus beverage area, and of course the main stage, the big attraction.
And a VIP room.
Yes, the VIP area. I think you might even be privy to that.
Yeah, I won tickets at the Campbellton Now event. We had a gala that Kealy put on a few months ago now, too. There's a lot of work in this. I mean, why? Why are you doing it?
Well, when you look at the timing, there's a couple of reasons. One, it's a bucket list. Always wanted to do it, have been involved with event management for 20 plus years, and growing up in Vancouver, very involved with Vancouver Music Festival, Children's Festival, and then moving to the island, festivals started to pop up here on the music side. Of course, 20 years ago, Vancouver Island Music Fest was born. We're very excited about this opportunity.
Yeah. Well, you hope to make a buck, I would hope.
Well, it is about making some money in the end, but what we're really trying to accomplish is a bit of a microeconomic impact. August 16th, middle of that particular month, economically in Campbell River for the retail section, it starts to have a downward turn.
Yeah.
And it becomes very quiet.
Yeah.
Most of this area leaves and camps or starts their own summer holidays.
Yeah.
So the concept behind this particular event and the timing that's allocated with it is to create a greater impact for the community so that hotels fill up. And yes, it's high season, but we can still use another hit in our tourism.
Yeah.
Hotels fill up, restaurants fill up, the gas stations are getting used, the retailers are getting hit. Yeah. And it's a great opportunity. This year we're a one-day event, but the future is to break down into a 3-day weekend-long festival.
Yeah. I was going to say later about BC Day on Monday, August the 4th. I'm a BC Day fan for some personal reasons that go way, way back to its founding, actually. And it's always disappointed me. I mean, Carol Chapman does a great job on Canada Day, just phenomenal. And, you know, I'm happy for all of that. But BC Day is almost ignored. Everybody's at the lake. And August is dead in Campbell River, except for the tourists coming through to fish and be tourists. So, yeah, I mean, good luck with that. It's, you know, filling a gap in the calendar. Did you have to go to City Hall to help pick the date, or how did you
No,
pick it?
the date was picked strategically regarding other events on Vancouver Island. There's 2 other events that compete with us date-wise, but are of different genre and a different format.
Yeah.
So Vancouver Island Exhibition in Nanaimo is hosted that weekend, and then there's a smaller event put on by Cumberland Village Works on the same day.
Yeah.
So the choice was
Yeah.
was on purpose, though. We knew that there was a hole to fill, and we thought it was a great opportunity also for Campbell Riverites to staycation.
Yeah.
We're offering a free festival shuttle running from Elk Falls Campground and the Thunderbird RV Campground, and that's a great opportunity. Go out, camp, park, bring your kids, hop on the shuttle to the festival, and hop on the shuttle to get back to the campground.
Now, I've seen a lot of the advanced publicity for it. There's a write-up in your magazine, which we'll get to. And the Courier had 10 bands featured rocking the island, and then there's ads running as well. But what's the in and out rule? I'm not clear on that. Do some people have in and out and others don't? Or?
No,
How does that work?
What the scenario is again, setting precedents for the event. So we want to create a safe environment for all the attendees. So the rule that we put in place this year is no in and out privileges. So once you come in the gate, you're in until you leave. But we're accommodating you. We've got 12 food vendors on site that'll absolutely knock your socks off and look after everything you need.
Okay.
There's an entire fun zone included for the little ones as well as the young at heart, including a misting tent that we're going to build so people can walk through the misting tent and keep themselves cool all day long.
Why would you need a misting tent in August in Campbell River?
Well, the 38-degree weather we're experiencing now may have something to do with it.
There it goes. Yeah, so you'll have security, and I guess if somebody does have heat distress, how do you handle it?
Well, security is on site and also providing first aid. We'll be dealing with that case-by-case scenario. You know, our local hospital and emergencies are excellent service, so our plan is just to keep everybody hydrated, keep everybody as cool as we possibly can, and let them have a great day.
Yeah. Is there free water taps, or?
There will be bottled water for sale from the vendors, as well as pump water on site.
Okay, yeah.
So if you want to bring your water bottle and you want to fill it up along the way, that will be available.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
But adults $70, students $50, and then 4 to 11 $40.
That's right.
Yeah. How does that compare with other festivals?
It's right in line with other festivals. And because we're setting up this event logistically, there's a lot of expenses that just land on the one day. So we're fencing the entire structure of the property.
And porta potties?
Yes, 100 porta potties. Yes, that's right. So the full plan is we're capacity and organized for 5,000.
Wow.
You know, whether we see that or not, we'll wait and see.
What about local bands? I think you got a couple of local bands, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
What's the story there?
So we're kicking off at 11 a.m. with the Kyle Mitchell Trio, and that's a division of a new local band called Who is Barboza.
Oh, I've heard of that.
And they're a great little trio. They're going to come on and rock the stage for 45 minutes and kick us off. Followed by that is our MC, Diane Pensel, who visits us from Victoria via LA. And then we have a First Nations blessing, and we kick into the Bentwood Boys, who's another local band featuring their classics rock and roll and some of their own originals.
So get there early if you want to see the local groups.
Yeah, absolutely. We're also bringing back Campbell River's own Bryce Tavish, who's very well known, and he's coming from Vancouver with his new band, Flight Behavior.
Wow. If there is a star attraction, these kids wear crowns, I see, is in the ad.
They are our headliner, absolutely. And I think there might be a bit of a misconception. I've heard some of the 50-plus friends say, "Oh, it sounds like it's for kids, the event." You know, I don't think it's like in my genre. No, just because the headliner has the name kids in it doesn't mean that it's just for kids. This band is highly talented, has great music and great dance music.
Yeah.
They're not to be missed. And the second bill, which is Cuba Ohms, phenomenal as well. These two back to back are going to blow the socks.
I've heard of Cuba Ohms, but tell us more.
Yeah, well, Cuba's local to Vancouver Island. He lives in Victoria. He travels internationally, and he's just dropped a brand new album, actually, ADHD. So very excited to be hosting him, especially this summer when he's got a new album out.
Will the CDs be for sale there?
Yeah, absolutely, you
good.
bet.
So there's actually quite a bit of commerce, even once you get in the gate. There's food you can buy, there's libations, that's a big word for drinks, and CDs.
Yeah, absolutely. Merchandise tents, so festival t-shirts and artist
neat.
t-shirts, CDs will be available. There's also a small group of, I'll call them merchandise vendors, and there's an ATM on site. So don't worry, bring your wallet, bring your ID too, please. If you plan on enjoying the libations, make sure you've got your identification with you.
Yeah.
But there is an ATM on site, so easy access for you, you know, as you want and need things throughout the 12-hour course.
What are the food vendors? You mentioned, I think, 10 of them?
12, actually.
12, okay. Have to listen carefully.
Okay, so let's see if we can roll these off.
Or some of them. I've got here Mexican, Syrian, Asian. That's
Yeah, right. So we've got Baba Ganoush, who of course is a local favorite, and they do Syrian fare, I should say. We also have TKO, which is a local burger truck, and he features bison burgers and local products as fresh as he can find. We have Jalapeno Grill, which is the Mexican fare, and they're well known in Campbellton. They hang out at Associated Tire there, so if you really like the Mexican food, pop by and have a try. They're really excellent. Who am I missing? We got
Oriental?
Yeah, oh right, we've got the Asian Dragon Bowl coming up from Sydney, actually. So they're a favorite.
Is that a food truck thing?
They are,
okay.
yeah, and they feature fresh salads, vegetarian food, chicken and noodle bowls. So something very different that you wouldn't have seen in Campbell River before.
Yeah. Now, you're also a magazine publisher. You run a printing business. You help the Campbellton Neighborhood Association. You're active with First Nations.
Yeah, sure, and I'm a mom and a wife.
Yeah, oh, pardon me. That's actually at the top of my notes here, but I wrote it small there. But yeah, how do you manage your time?
I just enjoy what I do, and I'm motivated by community.
Do you get up at 3 a.m. and write emails?
No.
Well,
I might be up till 3 a.m. writing
okay.
emails, but I don't get up at 3 a.m. to write them.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure, and it's a passion.
Yeah.
And I've fallen in love with the North Island. There's so much here to offer.
Yeah, we both grew up on the North Shore of Vancouver.
That's right.
And we both chose to live here because it's so great. Yeah.
Absolutely. The recreational lifestyle provided here for my family. I've traveled the world, and I've come back to BC, and I've landed on Vancouver Island, and I'm very happy with the choice.
You know, the recreation for sure, and the climate and the environment, but you know, there's other things too, like the healthcare. You know, try and get a doctor in Burnaby. You can't, but you can do it here.
No, we're very lucky here. You know, our services that are available are very strong. You know, there are some challenges being a smaller market and being, even though we're centrally located on Vancouver Island, known more as northern community, you know, sometimes shopping can be complicated. But what I'm seeing now, local retailers and stores and businesses are really working towards catering to this community. And I think it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
They're doing a terrific job.
You seem to have a lot of interaction with First Nations and the Campbell River Indian Band in particular, who's given the venue for this. Where did that come from?
You know, my relationship with Campbell River Indian Band is just it's a great business relationship. I've served them on a number of different occasions.
You mean like for printing work?
No, in sales through 99.7 The River when I worked for Vista Radio, and it was a relationship to be grown. My mother years ago worked for Indian Affairs, and as a child I spent much time on the North Van Indian Reserve, and I think I don't know. I believe in one world, one community. And I'd like to see us mesh a little bit better than we are right now. And I think that opportunity stands in front of us.
Yeah. In terms of getting the venue on the Campbell River Indian Band soccer fields next to Home Depot, was it very difficult, or did they buy in right away, or insurance is an issue? I don't know. How was it?
No, not at all. This property actually was recently returned to the Campbell River Indian Band. Not to get into the political details of that, but this event in particular I've been working on for 4 years. So it's not as if it just came off the top of my head. It has been something that's been talked and pushed around.
Yeah.
And I'm not the only promoter that's looked at the site either.
Oh, really?
The site allows a great amount of access that right now is not available anywhere else in Campbell River.
Is that the one where the little fair comes, you know, the small Ferris wheel? And all?
That's correct, yeah. West Coast Amusements uses that property as well when they come through town.
Yeah. Well, this is a good segue to Campbellton Neighborhood Association and the magazine. I'll hold up Campbellton now. The cover of the current issue. It's got a great article by me in it, I think.
That's right. Thank you, John.
Plug. But this is also, in a way, a Campbellton event, but it's a coincidence that you happen to have your office in Campbellton and Campbellton Neighborhood Byline. But you're active now also in the Campbellton Neighborhood Association. Why are you doing that?
One, I live in the area. Okay, so I don't live directly in Campbellton. I'm just slightly over the bridges. But I love the area, and it has got such a great historic feel to it. I think that the area has been, and I'll just say as my opinion, neglected. And it's only due to the fact that it has been focused on as mainly industrial. And it's time for a cleanup. I look at what Cumberland has done, although that they are under their own municipal organization. And I think while looking at Campbellton, that we have that opportunity, that we can make this little historic village into something really unique and special. And I think it's time. I think it's time to put the investment forward there. It really is the economic heartbeat of Campbell River. The big money sits in Campbellton. You look up and down the streets and you see, you know, Finning, Bailey Western Star, John Deere. I mean, these are multi-million-dollar corporations.
Yeah. I could go there, but I'm going to go to the boundaries of Campbellton because I'm active in the group too because I assist a restaurant in Campbellton. But the border has been deliberately left amorphous for the 3 years roughly. And, you know, like Homewood, sometimes it's in, the city gives us a map, it's not in.
I don't know how the city defines it.
Well, I think they're trying to keep it small, which is kind of like a historic thing, the downtown people versus, that's why Campbellton didn't get any sidewalks until just a few weeks ago. Even now as we're talking, they're being done. But really the trading area, it goes out to the dam. So that includes Haig Brown House, it includes the gun club, it includes the hatchery. And I think it's across the river. That's where you live, and that's where there's car dealerships. You know, if they have to come in to buy gas, I don't think they're going down to the Shell in Willow Point. They're taking a local gas station, and there's quite a few of them in Campbellton.
Well, I mean, when you look at us geographically, where the Quinson River and the Campbell River meet, it is almost dead center of Vancouver Island.
Really?
Yes, and we also have 2 major highways that conjunct at that area.
Yeah, well, it's actually 4.
Yeah, well, and
because there's the road to Gold River, there's the road to North Island, there's the new Inland Highway, and there's the Old Island Highway.
Correct,
All
yes.
meet there.
That's right. So really it is a transportation corridor.
Yeah.
And what's wonderful about that is that it's accessible.
Yeah.
You know, what's so incredible about that little area is that you're 5 minutes from the freshwater lakes.
Yeah.
You're 5 minutes, if not right on the estuary or the ocean.
Yeah.
Right? The trails are right there. Raven Trail is absolutely stunning. The Bakey Island restoration. And then we've got, you know, the Elk Falls Trail.
The Ripple Rock Trail.
Ripple Rock, a little further out of town, but close,
but it's still,
right?
We're closer to Ripple Rock than Willow Point is.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can leave my house with my kayak on my shoulder, and I can be in the water in 5 minutes by foot.
Yeah.
And I love that. I
Yeah.
think that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's really special and unique. I look
Yeah.
at Courtney and see how their urban planning has been surrounded along their rivers, the Puntledge River, for instance. And I think now's the time for that for Campbell River.
Yeah.
You know, I think we really need to step up and take ownership
Yeah.
on an environmental basis.
I coined a
Protect.
phrase a few weeks ago now, rescue the river. And you may be hearing that from the neighborhood association in years down the road. But really, what a great asset the river is, but you can't get to it. There's maybe 2 or 3 viewing spots between the dam and the estuary.
And I think that that's going to change.
Yeah.
You know, there are a lot of plans. I believe the Noon Rotary Club are looking at projects on how they connect Mert Thompson over to Bakey Island or over to the Raven
Yeah.
Trail channels.
Yeah.
There's opportunity here, and at this time, there is property to do it. It just hasn't been done.
Yeah. Recently we had the mayor here for his 3rd visit. We had a special open house. And a person in the audience asked him about, you know, what do you see the future of Campbell River in 20 years? And he was saying, well, the road to Orange Point is going to be like downtown. And, well, Campbellton will become the center of Campbell River when the development to the north finally goes in, because the Area D decision means there's not going to be much development to the south. And then I guess the area to the west, I'm not sure. I think that'll be developed too. But anyway, a lot of people are looking northward as the Campbell River's growth area.
Well, absolutely. I mean, there's nowhere to go but north. There's still properties to fill in and large spaces along the Inland Island Highway. But in the same token, there is room for growth north, and it just seems like that would be the natural byline.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of development coming on Peterson too, and that's one of the reasons that I was going to say we need, but a new traffic light system is needed at 14th and Peterson, because there's already a large amount of traffic there, and it's going to get more as some of these new subdivisions come along and get filled in too.
Absolutely. I'm in agreement with the traffic light at 14th and Peterson, and not just because I'm on the Campbellton Neighborhood Association. I've seen the traffic statistics.
Yeah.
And I may be off a little bit, but Ministry of Transportation and Highways did a study maybe about 5-6 years ago. And their numbers at 14th and Peterson were approximately 9,000 vehicles a day.
That was 5 years ago?
That's correct. And then in comparison, Island Highway, in the same proximity, so running the same block down along Island Highway, 10,400, I think, were the numbers. And again, approximate numbers, folks, but that's what was taken. That was what was taken a few years back. So still shows that it's very heavy use and industrial use.
Well, if you're driving a big truck and you're coming up to Campbell River, you're not going to turn off the Jubilee Parkway and go all the way down Dogwood with all of that stop and go traffic.
No, and nor would
You're
we
not
want
going
that.
to take the old highway through downtown where there's traffic lights. You're going to go around the back, down the hill, and then for about 3 or 4 blocks, you go through Campbellton, and then you're there. Our president, Brian Shaw, thinks that Walmart is the new center of Campbell River.
Well, I think potentially Brian could be right. You know, that whole hub, that entire area, really has a lot to offer. And even the festival site that we're using one day is going to be developed, and it'll likely be developed commercially. So, you know, we're going to see a whole new division of draw to that area once those developments do begin.
Is that one of the reasons the Campbell River Indian Band was, I guess, happy to help you, were they happy to let you use the site?
Well, there was a decision that was made by their, you know, their chief and council. There was a lot of information that went back and forth. You know, it was by my request, so I was the one that went to them with the concept.
But you've been working with them long before you had this concept, I think.
Well, I mean, I would say we had a light relationship for sure. They were familiar with me and familiar with some of my work that we've presented.
Yeah. Tell us a bit about your printing business.
Oh, Kiki's Printing?
Yeah.
Oh, we're just a little digital printing company in Campbellton. You know, we do everything from business marketing materials, into publishing, which is part of the reason we chose to move forward with the magazine. We're the new publisher for the Campbell River Rec Guide, so
good.
you'll see that drop locally August 22nd here in the community.
Yeah, there's a lot of print publications around. You know, I was on the ferry the other day, and I see BC Ferries has got a magazine out, On Board. And let's see if we can get that one coming in any minute. Nope, there it is. And I was surprised at actually the editorial quality of it. And then the Campbell River Mirror, they've got The Wave.
Yeah, it's not exclusive to just the Mirror, actually. Black Press runs the Wave through multiple communities in British Columbia.
And well, down in Courtney Comox, Cumberland, they call it Trio. But it's the same outfit. It's basically Black Press doing a magazine. And then there's this proliferation of tourist magazines. We got Discover Campbell River Guide, Vancouver Island Visitor, Vancouver Island North Official Guide, Visitor's Choice, and there's more that I didn't bring. Are there too many?
I don't know. I think literacy and reading is really important. So I don't think there's anything wrong with a little pulp floating around, especially coming from an old woods town like this.
Yeah, recycling. It's good for the recyclers too.
As a publisher, we have choices, and you can specify that your paper choice is an FSC, which is Forestry Safety Certified.
I've been in the business a long time, and apart from me having a little byline in here somewhere, it's a nice looking magazine. So
Thank you.
Good for you. Now we got time for my famous question. Is there something I didn't ask that you want to comment on?
You know, I'm just really proud to be a part of this community, and I think that there's change upon us. Campbell River is growing. We've seen the coming and going of the mill. We've seen economic change, and it seems like that is part of the map of how Campbell River operates.
Yeah, is there political change coming too?
Well, I would think so. You know, we are in the middle of an election year. We're going to see something happen in the fall. You know, Mr. Meny has left the community, so for him to run again. And as for the decisions that are being made in City Hall right now, it'll be interesting to see. I think it'll be a race to the finish.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll leave it there. I won't repeat my editorial about BC Day, but if you can, Monday, August the 4th, it's a good thing to remember what a great place BC is. So, and I'll give you one last plug for when is this event and what's happening?
Right, so Rock on the Island Music Festival, Music Festival, tickets are on sale at tidemarktheatre.ca, or pardon me, tidemarktheatre.com, and you can find details at rockontheisland.ca. Saturday, August 16th, gates open up at 11 o'clock sharp. Okay, well, Kealy Donaldson, thanks for coming in. Welcome to summer in Campbell River, everyone. Hi, Matt, and thank you, volunteers. Thank you, Shaw. This is Talk About. We're available also on YouTube. And if you go to my local website, crnv.com, you'll find a list of all the shows we've ever done with a link to each one or to them collectively too. So thank you, everyone, and especially viewers.